Hello everyone. Right now I'm going to be doing something that I don't typically do because it's the more complex nature of testing and such for the releases which many of you don't even want to be involved with because, let me put it this way, you may crash, freeze, or burn your system hundreds of times in a row trying to do specific tests as far as timing changes and such. But I'm going to show you pretty much where I'm at right now with the Beetle PSX core. I'm doing a bio sequence right now. And this is one game that has been requested of me like a multitude of times, Night Raid by Takumi. And you might know the company Toplan is one of the originators of SHMUP games. I'm talking like Tiger Heli and such. Many of these people, once the company went defunct, went on to other companies such as Takumi, and of course Aiden, Raisin, and Cave for the win. But right here is Night Raid, a fantastic arcade game. We can't emulate it on any of the arcade cores, unfortunately, but it runs decently, reasonably well with the PlayStation 1 cores. I have both PCSX HD Xtreme as well as the Beetle PSX fixed up for this specific game for the release. So we're going to see the title screen here in a moment here, once it gets in. Takumi for the win! And I'm going to do like kind of a mini tutorial as well as clarifying this as well. But you want to get in-game before you change anything once you have this update. Do not change any settings whatsoever until you're actually in-game. In the game, EA Sports in the game. Remember, it is your little cue clue, so to speak. And let me know what kind of TV shows, movies, music you're listening to, all that fun stuff. I usually like to jam some music when I'm like doing the updates and such. I did some MAME 2003 Extreme updated, added Chase Bombers, a great title game yesterday. Oh, I had a few more for release, but right now we're going to get in-game here. Okay. Fire! Okay. Arcade mode activate. And you can do score attack once you unlock all the stages. Okay, it does a little bit of a tutorial here. Kind of synonymous with your typical Neo Geo Fortitude. If you ever played the Neo Geo games that show tutorials like this. I love when games do this. But once we're in game, you're going to see pretty much how it roughly plays by default. Remember, I have like the extreme optimizations already applied for most of the cores. So this is running better than it would by default. But this is still not good enough for my taste and personal preference. So you're going to see what I did with this to try to make it better. See, this is just not good enough. I want to be able to enjoy this better, have like the jam, awesome music here. This is too slow. The music is awful. So we're going to go to RetroArch options here. Let's go back here. Quick menu options and watch very carefully. And when you're done, you need to change these settings back. So typically if you're doing Nintendo 64... there's a certain interval where games will slow down, freeze, crash, or burn. And you can do like the sRGB toggle to help out with that, but you can't do that in PlayStation 1 games. But what I can do is delay the intervals for the checks, which would apply to Dynarac, which is Dynamic Recompiler. And I'm going to show you right now in options what I'm talking about. So we're going to go up to this option, which is going to be in the release here. Of course, this is going to be changed to default. We're going to change the Dynarac, so it's actually... we're going to do max performance there. We can do max performance or cycle time and check. It'll be fine on either of those. And then I'm going to go up to two more things real quick. Right here, this is very, very important. You want to keep this at 128 default when you're done playing the game. If you don't, you'll have trouble booting other games. But I'm pretty much going to delay the intervals from when it does a dynamic recompiler check. So I'm going to put it up right now to... 8192. That'll be the magic number as far as my test results right now. And then on top of that, we're going to go up to reverse overclock. And I'm going to change that to, we're going to do 19 right now. Reverse overclock 19 and 8192. So think of the middle here. 8, 19, 2. So 19 and 19. Remember that? And once you're done, you'll change it back. You can push start to put it back to default. But for right now, we're going to leave it at 8192. I did not post this yet, but it will be in the very next update. And that would be default 100. You want to keep it at default when you boot a game so it can actually get to the bio sequence. But once I go back in game, you're going to see the magic of me disabling the Dynarac checks for more preparatory. I just made that word up, by the way. Checks here. But here we go. You ready for the magic? Listen and be amazed. Bam! How awesome is that, folks? Plays beautifully. Great music, great speed, performance, and all that fun stuff. Plus, we're running HD audio. You can even do like the shaders to give it a more beefed up look if you so choose to. But listen for a moment here how incredible this music is now. And if you're wondering what happens if I don't change it if I go back, you can pretty much load the game, just go in retro settings, run it away, and then change the settings, and then reload the game. I mean, just do it before it gets to the bio sequence, because if you don't change it before the bio sequence, it'll freeze your system each and every time due to the latency issues involved, and pretty much the assets and stuff accumulated. Kind of like a cache overload, so to speak, like Excite Bike where your bike overheats. So keep that in mind, Excite Bike overheat mode activate. But we're running awesome here, and this will apply to quite a few games. I mean, obviously, if you try running this on PCSX HD Xtreme Core right now in the current release, it'll have only black graphics. It'll have none of the background, and you can't even see the enemies. You can just see your main ship and the overlay of the fire display and stuff. So here, it's run damn awesome. You can play the entirety of the game. But there will be a PCSX HD Xtreme accuracy core, where you can load the game and not have to worry about changing the settings. It'll run fine by default, but the music won't be as good as it is with this Beetle PSX. And it's also going to run on the Mega Drive Mini, SNES, NES, as well as the PlayStation Classic. So yes, I got it working on all 4 of these minis with the PCSX HD Xtreme core, as well as with the Beetle PSX core. And I'm going to see what I can do with other games as well. But very, very pleased here, and this is a game that people have asked me about for a long time. I've talked to fellow developers, and if I was able to apply some of these direct delay checks within the PCSX HD Xtreme core, this game would run even more beautifully than it does even here. But it would take quite a bit of coding, generosity, and consideration to get to that point. But let me know what the last movie you've seen is. I mean, I saw the Professor and the Madman with Mel Gibson and Sean Penn. Fun movie. Then I watched like this Snowden movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Then I watched a movie called Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal based off Danish original. And what's kind of cool here is if you ever listen to audiobooks, you can actually close your eyes during the entirety of the Guilty movie and listen to it. You don't even have to see a single thing on screen whatsoever. It is that good of a movie. It is like a radio style thing. I have a few other things that are going to be going out in the update as well, and the very next update, which are going to correlate as far as like movies and such. Again, let me know what the latest things you've watched are. I'm probably going to watch the 8-bit Christmas movie, which is homage to the love letter stuff of NES system. I mean, I don't know how many of you actually try to get a Nintendo system way back in the day, or if your parents or grandparents, etc., uncles, aunties, and such, try to get your system and what they want to, almost like Cabbage Patch Kids, G.I. Joe, Transformers, etc. Luckily, I was able to get a Nintendo system after Christmas, but it is what it is. When the original system came out, it was in such demand, it was not easy to get whatsoever. But beautiful, beautiful thing here. We'll do at least the first boss and get into the second stage here before I close this up. Then I'll show you how to get back to the default status before you exit the game. And again, if you forget to do it, or say for instance something happens where you're like on lesser hardware and your system freezes, just simply load the game again and immediately open up retro settings the moment the game opens and go back to the default settings for both the reverse overclock and of course the DMA check. But we should be near the boss pretty here soon. I have power-ups that I didn't use just yet. Okay. And I'm trying to think of some other stuff that I've watched recently. I mean, as far as like various things. What have I been watching? Oh yeah, like the Creepshow Season 3 on Shudder. And I'm also going to be watching this like revenge style movie. It's literally called Revenge. It's on Shudder as well. I mean, I was wanting to watch it a while back, and it was just so hard to find like on any streaming service, but they finally put it on Shudder. Another one that I really enjoyed was Vicious Fun, which is also on Shudder. You can obviously do like a free 7-day trial if you so choose to. There's enough content on there to make it worth watching. I mean, I'll tell you 3 movies right now that were fun to watch on there. Actually, a few movies that more than. You can watch Psycho Goreman, aka PG, which is like watching like a rated R version of a Power Rangers episode with gore, blood, and all that crazy stuff. It is absolutely insane. This thing of Power Rangers with blood and gore. You can watch the VHS latest movie. I believe it was like VHS 94. That one came out. And the first 3 of them are pretty awesome. And there's one that deals with like scientists and experimentations and stuff. That's like the best of the bunch, bar none. Then, of course, you could watch this funeral movie with Clancy Brown. It was a great movie as well. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'm just so overwhelmed by the bullet hellness that I'm forgetting the name of the movie. It's escaped my mind right now. But Clancy Brown's also pretty awesome in the latest Dexter New Blood. And Dexter New Blood kind of reminds me of like the Fargo TV series. And there's even a little bit, spoiler alert, a joke, homage to the original Fargo within the context of the 3rd episode. So give it a shot. I mean, fun stuff. And I have to say, one of the protagonists in the show, other than Dexter Morgan, is actually more fun to watch than any character I've seen in the previous series in all its 8-9 seasons. Okay, let's try using one of my power-ups on this boss here once. It allows us to shoot. Have you ever, like, saved the power-ups and messed up and used them before you can even attack the boss? You want to make sure you can actually attack the boss before you can do it. Okay, we should be able to do it now. Oh yeah, fire! Come on. And you can do, like, pretty awesome chain reactions like in every Extend Extra, an everyday shooter. Great PSP game. But come on now, let's take this boss down. And this bullet hell is getting a lot crazier in later levels. It's pretty easy for the first boss, but you'll see on the other bosses, it gets pretty hectic. We should be nearing the end of this boss pretty quick here. There we go. Oh yeah, let's get the second stage itself out in this glorious music. And then I'll get back to the default settings. And this is just the asset polygonal overload here, so it's pretty common for you to run into a few slowdowns here and there when the polygonal assets accumulate in one section. But let's get to the second stage right now. 3, 2, 1, contact, bam. It's going to be so enjoyable here. Yes! Oh, look how awesome it is. It feels like R-Type. It's almost like doing Life Force and doing the vertical, horizontal SHMUP fortitude, but then going like in the Life Force thing here. And you can see that it's almost like intentional. The first stage is a little bit slower, but this is so damn fast and glorious right now. It plays awesome. I'm going to let you listen to this music for a minute here. You can see on the left there, we have a little bit of a combo meter. If you get it up to like 100, etc., just keep like a combo flow going. It's like a minute to learn, lifetime to master, like pinball tables. I mean, you can literally just start a pinball table up and just jam it out and get like 20,000. But if you start learning the rules and like the multipliers and all that, you can get 1 million in no time. Now, I actually do own a pinball table. I went to Best Buy, and when the Pirates of the Caribbean movies were kind of influxed and out of the thing here, I mean, as many licensed things go, I was able to acquire a table for $50. And normally they ran like, I believe, $299. And it's just been a great part of my bar. Maybe I'll do a video of me running that table. That is awful. We're going to do it one more time. Again, we're going to go to the 2 options here I mentioned. Direct check. We're going to make that 8, 1, 9, 2. 9, 2, 19 in the middle, and then we're going to go back up to the reverse overclock and change that to 19. You can change anywhere from like 18 to like 25 or so. I mean, even 30 if you so choose to. If you go down to like 14 for the specific game, you're not going to be able to control your ship at all. You'll lose control productivity. But as long as you're like around like 17 and up, you'll be fine. But I usually keep it at 19. That's my magic number here. So let's go back and you'll hear the music in glorious form again. Oh yeah! Beautiful! Letting you hear that music. Okay, now that we're done, we're going to go back into options here. And I would not recommend attempting to run this core as of the recent release that I posted. Wait till the next release. Otherwise, you may have it freeze, crash, and burn each and every time. I have it pretty stable right now where you just have to worry about these 2 options, and it's fine. So again, 128 default, and of course, the other option would be, let's get back up to it. I just passed it by. Right there. CPU frequency. 100, 128. So let's see here. We got the 128 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So remember the magic number 5 between the 2. And you're good to go. You get closed content, exit RedShark, and go low content to another game, whatever you so choose to do. But hope you enjoyed the video tutorial and seeing a little bit of the clarification of how I've been battling the direct checks in many of these cores, such as Nintendo 64, PCSX 6800, all that fun stuff. But hope you enjoyed the video and talk soon. Update will come out probably early January 2022. Enjoy your holidays, folks, and there'll be more videos in the interim.